A cash grab scheme starting two of the biggest superstar of Indian film industry, Hrithik Roshan and NTR. That scheme gets cash from you but doesn't give you back anything. And it's kind of a film which is a pure brain rot with a very grand canvas. And again, we are here discussing a film where we don't know why the producer actually putting this kind of so much money into a film which doesn't have a proper script, which doesn't have the scenes which are connected with each other. And was Junior NTR forcefully included in the screenplay? That is like the biggest question I have for the makers of War 2. And I am so disappointed that we have ruined another sequel which might be have a potential of a very good action film which nowadays we are craving for, because a lot of people watch Hollywood films and they always have this feeling that when we are going to do this kind of action film with our industry. But again, we are waiting for that kind of film. And yes, War 2 is that product which will lead Yashraj Film Productions to close their spy universe any day, anytime. So War 2 released, of course, like we are late, a little late. It's like Thursday, Friday, and today is like Saturday. I am recording this. So as I earlier said, in my interviews, that we are not going to try to give reviews for a film which is released on Friday, and we are recording the review video that day itself, because it takes a little time for me to process something. And since this was a big clash and we had plenty of releases, there are two three more films which I have explored on this weekend. So uh, I started with Coolie, and then in between, then our upcoming reviews will be, apart from War 2, are like Tehran, the which is released on OTT. um, so we'll do that. But here's the thing with War 2, I was like very disappointed. And the main thing in this film is they had a very great uh, plot line in the initial minute, where we all know Kabir, played by Hrithik Roshan. The movie starts with his entry scene. That action choreography is very amateur. It's very amateur, and the set uh, on which they have shot the film, the location doesn't seems very real uh, to us. It's somehow somewhere you feel that something is missing. And yeah, they try to actually set up the tone as if this film is a very over the top action film, which is okay, because that character Kabir has got that kind of charisma and aura which we saw in the initial the first film of War. But here, when you gone through that action sequence, it's like, okay, yeah, you want like you were craving for that kind of sequence where you will be like shouting out loud and whistling when Hrithik Roshan appears on the screen. That happens for a moment when there is a very close shot of his eyes and all. Mm, but after that, the energy starts dipping as the sequence progresses ahead. But That's sorted, it's over the top. Okay, if you digest that, then after that sequence, there is a thing that, yeah, uh, they had a very, very great thing where they show that Kabir, the character of Kabir, has crossed the line of an agent, and now he has gone into the shadows where he probably can't return back to his normal life. And while remaining in those shadows, his actions are questionable, and you always have doubts on his choice and all. And the major thing came during that time is, he has joined some organization, Kali, and that organization gives him a task to kill his mentor, his ideal, his father figure, uh, Colonel Luthra. And eventually that happens. The character of Kabir kills Colonel Luthra. Now they had a very great plot line that killing your father figure is, um, not a small thing. When the daughter of Colonel Luthra is also in the army, she has introduced like that. She is courageous, she will take her action. And now it's all about national security and the depth of the character of Kabir. Like, why is what does this was necessary for him to do, or there was a escape plan, and how Kiara's character will chase him, will try to, because it is personal for her now, story wise, that she will be going behind Kabir. But as I said in the first scene itself, the energy goes down, down. So, as from this scene, the plot also, it starts going down, down, and down. The thing is, now you think that how Kiara Advani will take revenge from him and gonna solve this thing, but we have we got get introduced to another character, that is Junior NTR's character Vikram. And now, once the character of Vikram, Junior NTR, is introduced to us, they tried to show him in the entry sequence that he is a very ruthless, and it's just like a replica of Kabir. So Kabir got another Kabir, he has to deal with it. But now the conflict starts, that who will gonna solve the case of Luthra, because his daughter is also included in the team. Now NTR is also there as Vikram. Okay, and there is one more entry into this franchise, which is of Anil Kapoor as a new Raw chief, replacing Ashutosh Rana, as Ashutosh Rana's character Luthra is dead now. So that is the thing. Who will take the revenge? Who will solve this case? Now, the way you have started the plot, it seems like that Kiara Advani's character going to be a very uh, key thing in this entire plot line, but that never happens. Instead of her, the more screen time has been given to the NTR's character, and that's where this story moves ahead like a headless chicken for the rest of the 3 hours. That's a big problem, because the initial fight sequence, there you saw that Junior NTR is also there, Kiara Advani is also there. They are trying to catch Kabir, aka Hrithik Roshan. After that sequence, Kiara Advani is there only for just few shots. The only detailed appearance she made in the film, where the director has shown her bikini shots, and those bikini shots itself are like forcefully implemented into the screenplay, focusing on her body parts just to lure some audience, and don't know in this whole story why that shot exists. Why? What was the need? Because the way those shots are edited, the makers are clearly trying to give you that feel that, see, you have to watch this, your eyes should be here on this particular body part. And that is somehow it becomes cringe thing, because story never demanded that. If you are going for NTR versus Hrithik Roshan, that is another plot. If you are going for Kiara versus Hrithik Roshan, that is a separate plot. In between that, how this came, this is this is not like, see, the character of Vani Kapoor in the first part was a different. She was a related to dance, and then the affair happens, and that was a personal thing showed in the film. So at that point of time, it's kind of a okay to have these personal moments and all. Here, somehow, with the rivalry, they are trying to say too many things which doesn't have any substantial strong hold over the screenplay or the story. Now they had to show that how Junior NTR is connected with Hrithik Roshan. They have to show that how Kiara Advani is connected to Hrithik Roshan. They had their personal moment also. Then they had rivalry also. And this whole rivalry point was was a setup for a time in the initial minutes of the film, but then it is lost. Then there is another rivalry going on, the past of Ritik and Vikram, like Junior NTR, like Kabir and Raghu. And then again, why you are showing that? You can't stick to one plot point. You were trying to show like everything in the whole story of a spy universe. You were just trying to put that together into a single film, and all your plot points are like very very cringe, and it's like a brain rot thing, and brain rot done on a very huge scale. But even that brain rot can't give me a guilty pleasure. That kind of a story they have given us to in War 2, and this kind of a story actually raises a question, that is YRF spy universe is exhausted. It was a never a spy universe. I don't know why they have started this. The stories are never interconnected together, just because the Lokesh cinematic universe came into the picture, the KGF sequels came into the picture. I guess the makers took a chance that we will also do the same thing, since there is a Marvel cinematic universe, there is a DCU, and then in India, Lokesh actually started this thing, and then Prashant Neel was there. And when this whole thing started, Prashant Neel was actually working on Salar. So people thought that Salar and KGF uh, franchise is interconnected, and Prashant Neel is also building up a cinematic universe. So these guys also saw that, okay, we'll also make our cinematic universe, that is spy universe, spyverse, whatever you say. The first film will be Eighth Tiger, which was a solo release. Nothing was there. And then Tiger Zinda Hai, which was again the sequel of Eighth Tiger. Then came War. Till War, they were like, they didn't even knew about the cinematic universe and all. After that, Pathan came, So there was a thing that Siddharth Anand was the director, and he directed well in war. At least it gave some entertainment, it gave some engaging thing to us where we can celebrate that entry. We even liked Tiger Shroff, how he was presented. It that the presentation of Tiger Shroff's character Khalid was good, was very good if we compare to the entire filmography of Tiger Shroff. That one character. And then again, Siddharth Anand directed Pathan. SRK making a comeback, and John Abraham is there, Deepika is there. Apparently, one of the best antagonists you got, Jim, uh, played by John Abraham, and Siddharth Anand's Pathan. Now, they announced that they will create Tiger 3. Now, Tiger 3, the director is changed. Now, Siddharth Anand is kind of out of the system. He's not directing the spy verse universe film anymore. They bring in Manish as a director, and from there it was exhausted because that Tiger 3 was itself a very below average film. It let down the whole franchise of Ekta Tiger and Tiger Zinda Hai, because people were like, Ekta Tiger, Tiger Zinda Hai are those films where Bhai can easily make a comeback. You can see his aura, you can see his charisma on the screen, and somewhere all those things were lost with Tiger 3. And then there was a huge hope with War 2 that this will be something. But again, it's a big letdown from the makers. Like, they just took audience for granted. Like, they just tried to copy their own films. Like the iconic scene in Dhoom 2, where Abhishek Bachchan and Hrithik Roshan had a talk and then they will start dancing. They tried to replicate that into War 2 itself. Now imagine a protagonist and antagonist are sitting together. They are having a chat. You try to think that now there will be some banter, some intriguing conversation they will be having, filled with sarcasm or with little light moments. And suddenly that conversation doesn't builds up and they starts dancing. That is the question, like, why they are dancing. You showed us that the Kali gang is very rich and they are everywhere in the world. They are keeping eye on Kabir's every move. But while dancing with Junior NTR, Kali is not there. Even Roy is not there. No one is watching them. They are in a place where they are like dancing with hundreds of people, enjoying, talking to each other, hugging each other, shaking legs with each other, and no one is watching them, apparently. That's a joke. Like, you take liberty, but you can't take it like that. Liberty, you should not take it for granted in this way, actually. And after that, the story progresses in a way that too many things are happening and nothing is getting concluded at a certain point. And then again, there is a romantic track itself with Kiara and Advani. The placement is so wrong that you start wondering that why this happened. This is actually the some pathetic 90s film had this kind of song placement. Okay, and the character, like the female is in armed force. She's a wing commander, and she's so vulnerable that she is telling other soldier that you should not go to your posting. You should deny that. So that actually raise, like for me, that those scenes actually raise many questions on the writing, that if they have done some research over it or not. You are showing her character, Kiara Advani's character is very strong and she's wing commander, kind of that. And really, the army mentality works like this. They are so vulnerable. Do they think this kind of uh, emotionally at this level? That like that is a big issue, and then it leads to the concluding moments. And now you can't kill Junior NTR, so you add another line, and who it becomes like who is who, why they exist, why they are doing this, why this happened. Nothing is conclusive, just going on, going on, going on. And it definitely becomes a cash grab scheme where you have two big superstars. They are projecting it as like, for these stars we are going to pay money. Already in Telugu states especially, this was um, raised by many people. It became it became a trending topic where people are saying this, that the Hindi version is cheaper than the Telugu version. For single ticket is more than 500, around 700 rupees. So it's a cash grab. Even the makers also knew that after this weekend window, we won't be able to collect the money. So let's try to do that. But on a storytelling point of view, which is our aim to discuss, moreover, it's a headless chicken running over here and there for like nearly for 3 hours, and it's a cringe fest. And in one of the scenes, the action is so amateurish, the CGI is like a painful for your eyes. It's very retarded. And in one of the scenes, they he actually replicated that bike turning boat scene of Amir Khan from Doom 3 to this film, where Junior NTR actually gets on his boat, and that boat actually runs on the F1 track. Imagine how brain rot this is. And with decision like this, the spy universe is actually, I don't think so, it's going too much ahead, since they announced Alpha with Alia Bhatt and Sharwari. So that's why they are completing the project. But I'm not sure that if they will continue making the Spy Universe film after that or not, because there are questions on Pathan 2 itself, that it will happen or not, since Siddharth Anand also took an exit from the thing. And like Ayan Mukherjee should focus on films like Wake Up Set, Ye Jawani Hai Diwani. Those were like, that Ayan Mukherjee was like a very different Ayan Mukherjee, and as a director, we saw a capability in him that he can give a very good slice of life drama films filled with fun, emotions, and all. And with Brahmastra, it looks like he with Brahmastra, it was eventually a thing that yes, Ayan tried something, and if he failed in it, that's okay, because at least he tried. He he was trying to do something. He was trying to do trying to execute something which is impossible for many directors, and it was a very grand. Now this is a very bad downgrade thing for Ayan Mukherjee as a director, and I surely doubt that what will happen to him after um, this film. Uh, will Brahmastra 2 will come out or not? What will happen to Astraverse also, and what will happen to this spy universe is a big question. And this epic clash was certainly a big letdown for the moviegoers in terms of storytelling. But it's very bad that today's people who are going to watch the film are so-called cinephiles also. They are discussing that which film collected how much amount on this particular day, rather than the quality of the storytelling and execution. So that is one sad thing for me. And that's it, guys. This was like my thing, my take on War 2. Some few more films review I will be posting in next week. One of them is Kannada film Sue from So, and one is Marathi film Charan. Both are both came out as a surprise for both the industry, so I thought to make separate videos for both of them. Stay tuned to the channel. Please like, subscribe, and share this video as much as possible, and do let me your thoughts that about the video itself or the film itself. Drop your comments. Let's see, let's discuss, let's create a community where we exchange our thoughts very transparently, and we should discuss storytelling as much as possible. Thank you. Have a nice day.